This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with Violent Gentlemen. We're glad to say we're joined with Belfast's new professional boxer, Colm Murphy. How are you, Colm?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So first time doing this, had a few coffees, so a bit jittery, but hopefully we can get through this. Okay, don't be surprised if I run a marathon later.
But generally, obviously, we just caught you before a training session here as well, so sort of getting you sort of warming up, sort of rather than on a come down after a session. Obviously, just turned over pro. I think it was last week or maybe the week before. It was announced you've obviously signed with Dunlop. So I'm sure you're sort of on the crest of a wave at the moment. It's sort of like a new car or something like that, and people's going, "Oh, congratulations!" I'm sure you're getting inundated with people messaging you, wishing you well.
Yeah, the support from back here in Belfast and even the likes of Liverpool and the people I've met over in Dubai, like it's been overwhelming. So much support, and I'm very grateful for that. But now I've got to settle down, start getting the training ramped up, doing all these interviews and focusing on that, which I'm looking forward to.
And I guess, like you've been over studying and things like that, people may have knew you box and stuff in the past, but obviously now you're a pro boxer, they're going, "Oh, that's my mate, he's a pro boxer," So I guess it'll take a bit of adjusting to sort of, I guess COVID sort of changed things for a lot of people probably this time last year, or maybe 2 years ago, you probably hadn't even decided, "I'm going to go pro," but I guess COVID and everything else sometimes just go, "Do you know what, let's just do it."
Yeah, well, COVID's definitely been a factor in making this decision. So I even remember, before all COVID, a lot of stuff that happened in amateurs, such as not getting picked for the European under-22s, and I kept telling myself when I was done university that would be me. I'm going to be done boxing here. But then my mindset started to shift after Ulster Elites. Obviously, even I didn't know at the time, me and JP Hale got Fight of the Year, and it was really significant. And then COVID hit, and I was just like, I wanted to be back in the ring. I've been getting ready for the ABAs, but then I obviously had to come home and missed that. And after with the whole COVID thing, I realised, boxing is for me. This is the path that's going to set me up for life, make me the best person that I can possibly be. And that, why not? I'm having fun. I've loved it. I've had memories that define me, and I'm going to keep going for it.
And obviously you sort of touching there, and obviously your fight with JP, Fight of the Year in Ulster Hall last year was actually upgraded the main event in the show, and what a spectacle it was. Probably your last memory of amateur boxing was a sold out Ulster Hall, and I know you obviously come off, and obviously you lost on the night, but obviously you and JP, four fights in amateurs, and probably every one of them could probably headline any card.
Yeah, me and JP had even a fight when we were amateurs, but under 18 level in Ulster's Boy 7, which he beat me again on a split, to be fair. And but then again, that was the first one where it was like people just knew that this was a dream matchup that would get the fans excited. But even still, I did get beaten in the Ulster Elites, but I was on such a high because in my mind I was the uncrowned People's Champion of that tournament, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. Again, they were fighting nights. I came in, even in my quarter-final, my dad didn't even think I would win that fight himself. I can remember it so clearly, me ringing him and telling him I'd drawn the league champion, Jude Gallagher, and he was like, "What is going on here, thing." He's moved up in weight, freaking out, and I just knew, my own dad doesn't even think I have a chance in here. And occasions like that is just where, I feel I have nothing to lose, and that's where I step up, and has proved a lot of people wrong that night. And even going forward in this professional adventure, it's going to be the same thing.
It's the sort of thing that will turn you on. I guess sometimes probably your dad maybe in a way keeping you grounded with it and going, "Well, it's a tough fight, so it's not making me think it's going to be easy," and it's obviously done the trick, and obviously getting the best out of you and getting the win as well.
Yeah, it's not even just, it's like people that doubt me, they write me off, they think I don't have a chance, and I love nothing more than proving people wrong. It's not even just in the boxing game. Even my academics, I can remember going into GCSE levels, being told I'm not going to get back into school, and even some of the subjects I was good at, they're like, "You're only going to get a C." I ended up getting majority A's, majority B's, and now I'm here with looking to do a master's degree, and I'm going to use that as well.
And it's crazy to think of somebody at 21. Obviously, you have a degree in quantity surveying, and you don't just have talent in the ring. You obviously have brains as well. It's probably unheard of sometimes that probably somebody so young being so academically obviously sound and stuff as well. So it's good that sometimes people look at say professional football, and sometimes people go into football and then it maybe not work out, and then nothing to fall back on. Whereas you've obviously the boxing, and you've also still quantity surveying, they obviously do in the background as well. So it's something to keep your mind off boxing, I guess, as well at times.
Yeah, well that's true. I don't need to go down this route. It is just where my heart's at. It's not. I know what I want to do, and I know what I want. So that is going to be the destination that I'm going down. But with this boxing game, I feel like it's not even just a chance to follow my dream. This is going to be the chance to set up a lot of opportunities outside, because I very much so want to be more than just a boxer. I want to be giving back to the community and making the most out of myself, become the best human person that I can be. And I feel like this is the route to go down, because it's going to open up opportunities, because I'm basing this off my own experiences. I've met so many people from this game, so many memories, and just so much good times that I'm still going to continue to drive for. And it's what motivates me considerably.
It's the hunger I can feel there as well. It's obviously the want to do well and everything else, and it's I'm guessing there was anybody watching this and hearing that, going, Craigie, what a statement to come out with, and it just shows the sort of person you are, that you want to do the best you can, and probably even at that, it might not even be worth it. Not that worth it, but it might not be enough. You want more. You just keep striving for more.
Yeah, these what the boxing's given me, and made me the person I am, made me so confident in myself and my capability, what I can do. It's just limitless in my mind. Like, I can just keep going as long as I keep working hard the way I am. I know there's going to be opportunities for me which I can take, and that's what I'm going to continue to do, because it's just for me. I just see the road going up along this path. There's obviously going to be lows, and I've had lows before, and they will keep coming, but it's just about keep getting up from them, striving forward.
And what age did you start out boxing then?
So that's a funny story. I didn't start. I remember I watched Rocky movies and all when I was a young lad, maybe like 9, and me and my brother would have bought boxing gloves, and we would have sparred and all, not really know what we're doing, just throwing pasties at each other. But it really kicked off when I was 14. So my dad was drinking one night when I was staying over at his, and he was messing about, hitting me like playfully, and I just turned around one day and hit him a crack, and he was a bit stunned, and he was like, oh, we need to get you in the boxing here, because it was a good thing. He was waffled.
Definitely, that's something you look back in the future, and guess when you sort of go, how did you get into boxing, Craig? I threw the right hand of my dad, and told me I had to go to the gym, So, but like 7 years as a boxer, at 21, I guess sometimes you're a late bloomer to the sport, but it just seemed to be your destiny that sort of boxing was going to be for you. And like, how many fights did you sort of have as an amateur? Like, obviously, I know you were Commonwealth Youth bronze medalist, and obviously Irish under-22 champion. What sort of, how many fights did you have as an amateur? And
that's the thing. Like, even when I went over to England, they do a lot of things differently. There'd only be people there with like 30 fights, for even if they've been boxing since they were like 6. So we over here in Ireland, I've had about 65 fights recorded, but I've done a lot of club shows and stuff, the likes of that, even over Liverpool from a time there I was getting club shows, so probably closer to 100 if you're counting them, but I've got rightly stuck in. I can even remember 2017, the year I went to Bahamas, had about 16 carded fights, so yes, all against quality opposition. They haven't had a lot of easy fights and got stuck in. This brought me on loads.
Brought out the best in you as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, your decision to turn pro then, I guess obviously it was sort of rushed with COVID and everything else, but did you ever obviously dreams of senior Commonwealths and obviously Olympic Games?
Yeah, the Commonwealths I would say were the most realistic goal. The Olympics, I was never really too interested in the Olympics. There was temptation there, but obviously, growing up I'd seen, the controversy, such as the Michael Conlon robbery and stuff like that, and I just knew, like, having a dream like the Olympics, it's a bit of a corrupt dream, because there's so much ego, so much bureaucracy that can just get in the way. And speaking of bureaucracy, I've had bureaucracy stand in my way, and even just at Irish level, it's there. And same is going to be in the professional game. It's a corrupt game too, but at least I'm going to have a team around me that I can build and put my trust in. I don't really have to rely on high performance to dictate my path.
Yeah, you can create your own sort of dreams with it as well. And like the signing with Mark, obviously I know you spent obviously a bit of time out in Dubai during COVID and things like that as well. And you fought in obviously a high profile card, Stephen Ward versus Thor Bjornsson. How was obviously that experience? Obviously, I guess even meeting obviously what Thor I think was world's strongest man and stuff like that as well. I'm sure he's passed on good experiences and stuff to you.
Oh well, that was a dream come true in some rank too. I'm a very avid Game of Thrones fan. I've even read the books when I was like second year in school, and that was just amazing to get to see him. Geez, he lives up to the hype. He's huge, and I'm really looking forward to Eddie Hall and Thor Bjornsson fight go down, because that is a freak show, man. I don't think we'll ever see the likes of that happen again. And in a day and age, where it's like YouTube boxing and stuff, I think it's good for the sport to see, because it's making boxing more mainstream again, while it has a competitor of the likes of the UFC going on, so it gets that eyes peeled for the sport, and I think it opens up more opportunities for fighters. But in regards to meeting Mark and the professional journey, yeah, I went over. I feel like I could have maybe signed a lower promotion before the Thor fight happened, because I did get a lot of spotlight, as kind of like a fan-friendly fighter for the pros, if I ever wanted to, for the JP fights. But I went over to Dubai, and people probably would have thought it was, kind of like I'm getting a hand of a silver plate, because I have an uncle who lives out there, and he'll take me over. But my family doesn't really work like that at all. We're a very hard working family, and I got there by my own merit. I'd been training all pandemic, all Christmas for the national elites, so I was primed to go over and fight over there. And went over, I went straight into sparring, and mixing it in with undefeated pros at an MTK gym round 10, and this was just after Christmas, and I was just going in. I wasn't used to acclimatized at all, and I just got stuck in the deep end, and that paid off straight away, because we soon found out that the fight was originally meant to be in Iceland, and Thor was coming over to there, and so I'd actually tried to get over to Dubai before in 2019 with the promoter Aaron Dickinson. He was going to try and get me on one of the Ulster fights when they went over, but for some reason it didn't come to fruition. But Aaron remembered me taking an interest, and he got me sorted on that fight. And what probably drew Mark's attention was a lot of the spotlight from back home. But even with the other promotions too, that they noted, we sold about over 50 tickets, or 40 or something, for that fight, and that obviously will catch any promoter's interest. And going in, yeah, I went in, joined in with the crowd. It was good energy on the night, and they love the Irish over there. So I'll tell you what, I'll be back for another fight, definitely in Dubai.
Definitely, that'll be something Mark will have to arrange now. Obviously, we're bringing you on. Obviously, with signing with Mark, obviously I guess with the Dubai thing sort of dipped your toe in the water, and obviously what life could be like, and obviously turning over. Did you have any other sort of offers on the table, and why did you sort of choose to go with Mark?
Yeah, so being at MTK were very much into signing me, and that would have been good too. I was very, very tempted by that, but the one reason I didn't go with them was they've got a lot of fighters on their stable, so I don't think I would have got the attention I needed, because I need a good strategy around me. Like, I'm 21, likes of Ryan Garcia is a world champion at my age, but I'm not like that. I need a lot of stepping stones to take, and I'm nowhere near finished growing myself. So it's about taking baby steps in this game. I'm coming over. I'm a novice now, and I'm going to need a lot of experience fighting journeyman before I start making steps up, and that's going to be hard in its own right, because journeymen don't get enough credit as they do because of their loss record. These guys fight every week. If they think they're going to win, they're going to try and take your head off. They're going to be fit, just as fit as me, just as hard, if not harder. So I'm very much in the deep water, and the expectations are that I am going to be, going in and lumping their heads off, and that doesn't suit me. I fight best as the underdog, nothing to lose. So the pressure, I'm going to feel the pressure, but it's just about adapting to that pressure, and I'm going to be a new Colm Murphy going in there.
Fantastic, and I guess well, obviously it doesn't take much to obviously look at Mark's pedigree of obviously fighters he has and what he's done for them. James Tennyson, Tommy McCarthy, both fighting in the zone. Obviously your stablemate here in Glen as well. You've Connor Quinn obviously here as well, and the opportunities had for Hilo and Eric Donovan and everything else. It doesn't take much to guess. Mark didn't have to do too much to sort of get you involved and go, look who I have and what I've done for them.
Yeah, his resume speaks for himself there. He's had all his fighters fighting in the pandemic. He's had James Tennyson just fighting for a world title, Paul Hyland fighting for a British one. So as long as I stay humble, know that I'm in the right hands and continue training as I do, and working as hard and keep being ambitious. Mark's going to look after everything else. He's going to make sure I get the right training, right sparring, and the right being looked after. So that's it. I just got to stay ahead and keep working. In time, the titles opportunities are going to come, and it's what he thinks is best for me. It's not really what I do now. I obviously feel like I'm really fit. I could go in, do what my clubmate James McGivern does, and go straight into the 6th rounder. But there's no need to do that. Let's learn the trade.
Definitely build it up. And obviously you've taken on the experience of Dee Walsh here in Glen as well. Dee's obviously got such a reputation of obviously how great a pro and stuff he was as well. I guess he obviously left boxing too soon, but he's now obviously adapting and putting his time and effort into not only amateur boxers but obviously quite a stable of boxers he has here. Lewis, Paddy, Owen O'Neill, yourself, Connor, and probably more still to come as well. So how has it been sort of adapting them with Dee and learning things that Dee likes to do? Probably getting over bad habits you may have had and sort of learning the way once you fight. How's it been for you so far?
Yeah, so even when in 2019 I'd done a few one-to-ones with Dee before, and he'd always said he was welcome up to join in with the training with his group ones. So I knew what Dee was like before coming in, and even when I was in Dubai thinking of going pro, I was like, yeah, Dee would be someone good to take me, because I've always seen myself, base myself in Belfast, hometown, that's done a lot for me. But Dee's very well tuned in. He was one of the things that you have to take note. He was a former professional fighter before, so he's not going to ask you to do anything that he wouldn't. He wouldn't have done himself. He knows exactly what the fight game is like. And obviously he's doing a very good job. Lewis Crocker's just won a huge title. He's probably going to be tuned in to get a world title opportunity and become world champ. And yeah, so I'm going to be surrounded by greatness too. I already was. James, Jack McGivern winning very good amateurs, and now James is going to be also, I feel, going to be world champ at super featherweight. So yeah, I'm surrounded by greatness, and Dee's going to guide me on the right path, and it's going to fine tune my head movement, fine tune my footwork, so I'm not going to be easily hit. And I think we're going to shock people, honestly, with how much I've gone, because when I came over here from Dubai, I shocked him myself. When I got in the sport, he didn't even think I could box, but that is one of the things. I can box, I am a really good boxer, but I just fight with my heart too much sometimes, because I love the fans, what can I say, and I love a tear up.
And it's sometimes fine-tuning the back and sort of going, rather than just having a tear up all the time, let's just fine-tune it and sort of get the best out of it. Obviously, with being on the mark as well, I guess obviously there's a potential at some stage as well to be fighting the zone card. So obviously the new zone deal is going to be worldwide. So very soon you could potentially be fighting a worldwide audience, depending, I guess, on how much of a card they show. But straight away when you start off as a pro boxer, you could potentially be fighting all around the world, which is ideal for you, and that's what you want. The more people can see you, the more can obviously latch into the story of obviously your creating your journey in boxing.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I've already been around the world travelling, for fighting, like I've been in the Bahamas, was in Dubai recently, but even over in Liverpool, Liverpool's a big city, and I was fighting in nightclubs on club shows over there, and they love me over there, so I'm very much looking forward to getting out, seeing new places, but I do want to fight in Belfast too, because I'm going to bring an army of fans. I'm telling you, everyone's been asking me when's the first fight, and even my family have so many people who are just, that's the thing with my family, anyone when they're out together, they're just showing them videos of me fighting, everything. That's one of the first things that they're going to tell you is, oh, my wee grandson here, boxing, yeah, you gotta watch him. So that's it. I'm very lucky to have that. I'm very well connected to a lot of people from a lot of backgrounds who are going to want to come, and I can already see it clearly. Everyone's just singing Posh Boy, Posh Boy going in. It's going to be such a laugh.
And then where did the Posh Boy name come from? I think it was something to do with school, was it?
Well, school too, but I originally started in St Agnes's boxing club, and coming from Murphy, a very much rugby school, to going into Andy Town, they were like, I got a lot of stick, to be honest. Like I didn't really fit in, and wasn't very much liked, and they would have been like, yeah, called me the Posh Boy, which was funny, but they did say other things, and I eventually left that club because I felt like I was getting bullied pretty much. Like,
yeah, and it's not a good thing to be trying to bully a boxer, you know. But I guess sometimes, you know, it's having the name sometimes to remember the memories and keep you fighting stronger and going, this is the reason why I have a name. So it's not like somebody else has picked it for you. You know, it's like, you know, like a promoter or things like that has picked it for you. You've picked it yourself and it's got a meaning behind you.
Yeah, there's big meaning to it, because those people who, you know, would have took the piss out of me then, you know, none of them were boxing anymore. None of them got to fight in Ulster Hall. Probably their highest was getting down to Dublin, if even. So I did get the last laugh there, and it's a good one because, you know, I went and told the family that, you know, I thought it was pretty funny at the time, and yeah, my family took a liking to it now. So, but there's no other boxer called the Posh Boy, so it's a memorable one too. So I'm in here being a little bit different, not taking myself too seriously, which is what it's all about too, having still a bit of fun with the game.
It definitely is. And when are you sort of hoping to make your debut? Is it something, Mark? I know obviously we don't want to say too much on camera, but obviously it's a plan to sort of get you out as soon as possible and keep you as active as possible.
Yeah, so Mark's think there's going to be talks of getting a show up and running in September. Obviously that's COVID dependent, and that would be ideal, you know, because I'd be able to sell tickets, you know, over here, and as I said, going to bring a lot of people. But it's just really, we just got to see with the COVID situation, and there's no rush still. I've only just signed the contract, and I'm fit and ready to go. So it's just about making sure that I'm ready to put in the best performance that I can.
Fantastic. It's the itchy knuckles sort of waiting to go. And what weight will you campaign at? I think I've seen something where you said that you could campaign at featherweight now, but what will be your ideal weight you want to fight at? Yeah,
so it's really about seeing down the line. So obviously for the title fight, I'd be looking probably to do super bantam. I'm in with a program with strength and conditioning and performance modelling called Be It, and Stuart McKeaton is certified to do water loading by Lockhart and Leaf, the MMA fighters who did that, you know, who ran about with McGregor and did his water loading. So if I did that, I feel like I can make super bantam handy enough, because these guys are geniuses and I wouldn't trust anyone else to look after me like that. But for now, you know, there's no point. I've still got a bit of growing to do, so I don't want to stunt my growth trying out that front. So we're going to do featherweight originally, because that was the weight I fought at amateurs on the day I was winning. So the day before I could still make featherweight traditionally, and I'm not killing myself too much to make that. So yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be big at either of those weights, but I'll be a monster at super bantam.
And I guess, you know, until you obviously get into the stage of title fight, there's no point campaigning the weight you want to fight at. You want to sort of gradually come down. So, you know, the more you can grow into it, the better. And say at 21, you know, you probably still haven't stopped growing yet as well, and getting your man sort of strength as well. So, you know, it's only going to come in time. Obviously, I think we've got the end of the questions. Have we got anything I've probably forgot? I think that is actually it. Obviously, final thing we want to do is, obviously, with everybody we bring on for the first time, is giving you an opportunity to thank sponsors and things like that. You're only starting out your pro game, but sponsorship's so important to obviously getting you fights, medicals and everything else. Have you got any sponsors involved yet? And obviously, have you got the need for more sponsors to come involved, and how can they get in contact with you?
Oh yeah, so I've got a few sponsors who've been looking after me. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Ruben's Meals, Dan and Jerry Lee, who've been from day one looking after my nutrition, and without them, you know, they've played a really critical role. I used to be a very picky eater and used to not eat at all, and now after eating their meals, I've come on and took the value of nutrition and lovely food they do. And next, CS Supplies, Remy, thank you very much for the help, and he's been looking after me. He sponsored a fighter before and made sure that, you know, I'm getting the right treatment too, from hearing from his end. Paul O'Callaghan, Belfast Whisky Week, and Slagmore Dental Care, who's going to be looking after my gum shields and teeth. Let me try and think who else. Brandon Boyd, I don't have the name of his company, but he's going to be looking after me, and a few others.
Sometimes you get put in the spot. Sometimes it's, as I always apologise in the Zoom and stuff like as well. Sometimes I apologise and going, you may leave somebody out, but obviously for anybody you've left out, it's not for the fact that you've just forgotten them. It's just you're put in the spot with it as well, you know. But look,
Kingsway Contractors too.
Kingsway Contractors, there we go. So obviously we want to thank you obviously for giving us the opportunity to get your story out sort of before you join pro. We'll obviously look forward to getting some fight news, and I'm sure obviously we'll have more interviews down the line with you in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really enjoyed that, and yeah, hopefully get more interviews after coming up to a fight or something.
Definitely.
Enjoy this.
Well, Colm, listen, thanks very much for your time, and obviously I hope you enjoy your training session now after this today.
Thank you.
Cheers.